Before I started my senior year at North Central High School, I looked into class yearbook photos. My friend Jim and I mutually decided that dating the same class students was a romantic mistake. Jim and I had a new strategy. We would ask out girls from a younger class. Got it. Being a senior, armed with a new plan, off to high school we went. At the end of the first week, an attractive girl about 5'1" in height, well-dressed, darling ponytail caught my eye. Somehow, during the next few days, my desk seat seemed to get closer to this young woman in my advanced chemistry class. I took the frightful leap by asking her out and never looked back. Effie Joan Behrens, called Joan, we dated the entire senior year. Two reasons came to me that Joan would become a significant part of my life. One, shortly after we started going out, I had a dream of her standing a few feet in front of me on a beautiful winding path. And she said, I'm the young woman you've always been looking for. A few weeks after that prophetic dream, Joan was severely injured in an automobile accident. She went from the front seat right into the window, flying hard. I arrived at the hospital after the accident, flowers in hand. Her beautiful face was covered in bandages. My heart, my soul vaulted into a love place that few have ever felt. During that hospital visit, my feelings had certainly signaled a long-term commitment. Joan Behrens was extremely intelligent, a National Honor Student, graduating near the top of her class, and her father, Dr. Otto K. Behrens, earned his Ph.D. from the University of Illinois at age 22. He became executive director of all research at the pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly, headquartered in Indianapolis. Dr. Behrens held several patents, including the discovery of synthetic penicillin. He authored a famous book called The Ferns of Indiana. Joan's dad and mother, Effie, served as trustees of Franklin College. They were both awarded honorary doctorate degrees by the acclaimed school. They both were advocates of civil rights and justice, became well known in the Afro-American community. Effie played a significant role at Franklin College and was also a member of the First Baptist Church located on North 86th Street in Indianapolis, some 14 blocks directly north of my childhood home. Joan's family, her parents and only sibling, Otto Carl Behrens, lived about 20 minutes by car from my home. Their 4-bedroom home included a 50 by 20-foot indoor swimming pool. The home was sited on a hill overlooking a majestic 5-acre woodlot. On weekends, Joan and I would spend quality time together, and weeknights we would often have homework dates at her house. We both were very serious about our future together. The fall after graduating from North Central High School, I enrolled at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. I had pledged Phi Delta Theta, moving into the fraternity house on North Jordan Avenue. My grades suffered as a pledge because of the pressure of pledge life. At IU, during my first semester, I went to a series of physical anthropology lectures taught by a visiting professor named L.S.B. Leakey. Professor Leakey was a well-renowned anthropologist who is credited for discovering the earliest members of the human evolutionary chain of development. His discovery was at Olduvai Gorge in upcountry Kenya. The gorge was an excellent excavation site. Water erosion had opened up the terrain and exposed the volcanic encrusted humanoid bones. Professor Leakey and I had several private talks. I proposed to him to eventually work on his team, sponsored by National Geographic. I would arrive at the coast of Kenya aboard a merchant ship using the shipping connections of my grandfather, Ross Trusader. Professor Leakey requested I bring 2,000 gallons of water, a military-style pistol, and a rifle. I was told that area sometimes was the center of terrorist attacks by the Mau Mau guerrillas of Kenya. Plans to join the team were connected with the National Geographic group, including Diane Fossey, whose story was made famous by the film Gorillas in the Mist, and Jane Goodall, that I became good friends with, known for her study of chimpanzees in the wild. Joan and I kept in close touch during my first term at IU, and she even traveled to Bloomington a couple of times. Classes went very well at IU, but it was really only the ones that I totally loved, and I was over my head on chemistry classes and composition classes when I took advanced work. Classes went very well at IUPUI, in part due to my high grade in the geology class. Joan and I attended her own senior prom held at the Riviera Club in North Indianapolis. During the summer after Joan graduated, she likely would have attended DePaul University. However, in early summer, Joan was with child. You can only imagine the family meeting we had in Joan's living room with her parents, church minister, and my parents. As we sweated bullets, our parents and minister were surprisingly compassionate. August 12th of that summer, Dr. Behrens walked his wonderful, amazing daughter, Joan, down the aisle of the First Baptist Church in front of an abundant crowd of family and friends to become Mrs. William Land. Joan and I intended to enroll at Indiana University. Our new family moved into a 48 by 14 light blue and white mobile home placed in a small lot on the south side of town. We went to buy groceries for our new home. The whole grocery bill was a huge amount, $39, and we filled up our gas tank in the car with 19 cents per gallon gasoline. Both of our sets of parents were supporting us financially, but that left very little money for our interests and needs. I was enrolled in Indiana University to fast-track my qualifications to become financially independent. I took over 15 credits each term, attending summer school, and then easily graduating in 3.5 years. As a major in education, I chose social studies, specializing in geography, history, and sociology. My academic minor would be in earth science, specializing in astronomy and geology. Even though I had abundant academic pressure, I sought employment with the Indianapolis Star newspaper delivery, and at 4:30 every morning, again, I would be flipping papers on people's front porches. One morning, my neighborhood toss was a little extreme, and bonk, it rolled right up on the roof. It was quite a sight when Joan was up on my shoulders, baby bump and all, as she managed to scrape off the newspaper off the roof with a golf club while I shakily held her aloft. One medical event occurred during that time when I had a large cyst the size of a tennis ball removed from my base of my spine. As I was on the recovery table, I was profusely bleeding, and since I'd been left for over an hour, I just decided to get off the table, put on my clothes, stuff my wound with toilet paper, and walk home. March 17th, 1961, our first daughter, Patricia Joan Land, was born at Bloomington Hospital. With the luck of my 11% Irish ancestry, Pat had arrived on St. Patrick's Day.